All right, ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at is 1016, if I'm not believe, or what used to be 1016 Devereaux Street. Now, this is a house that has been here for years, along with the other three houses that you see. There was another house in the middle that has since been torn down, but this house was last known as Robert's Liquor House. Now, this house was frequented by many people in the community, young, old, rich, poor, businessmen, people from all walks of life would come here and hang out, shoot the breeze, cookouts. So this house was a staple in certain aspects of the community. But I think as of Monday, this house was the victim of an arson, and I'm going to probably do a separate story concerning that. But I think it was Monday that this house was set on fire. You see the extensive damage that was done. We'll walk around the side right here. Like I said, this house brings back a lot of memories. You can actually probably see right in. I probably don't have to walk in. This is the side. Now, this is the side of the house where the other gentleman lived at one time. But as you see, the house is completely destroyed. From my understanding, the fire was set when someone lit a couch on fire, and it was then that I guess the whole apparatus became inflamed. As you see here is the back of the house. You can actually still smell the smoke and ashes from this. I think there's somebody looking around. So, but yeah, this is the side where the other gentleman used to stay. But this is a door that I have walked in many a times in my years, and remember that used to be the bathroom right there. I did a lot of devious things in that bathroom, unbeknownst to people. See here, this is the walkway. I hate to walk in here and run into something I don't want to run into. See, actually, evidently there was something still in here. Some people were still there. You see some cologne and some deodorant. I don't know. Hopefully the building won't fall down. This used to be where we used to sit and play cards sometimes. Then you had the bar set up right there, the refrigerator, but also there was a table right here. We weren't playing cards right here, then somebody was just sitting there drinking. This was the room right here where we played cards at. You know, the table used to sit right there. You know, had the TV right there. In the front room, I'm not going to walk all the way through the front room. I'll probably walk on the other side. But this is Robert's Liquor House. Now, rest in peace to Robert. I think he passed a few years back. You know, very, very stern man. But he was a man that allowed people to come in his establishment and, you know, participate in whatever activities or, you know, vices that they had. And, you know, I don't know how long this house has been abandoned, but like a lot of the houses in this area, they have been abandoned for a long time. As you see, doors, I don't know if those doors were off or on at the time of the fire. Once again, this is the front of the house. There you see a little baby shoe. I don't know where that came from. You see the keep posted sign out right there. That's once again, this is the front room where you might sit. You might find anybody in here asleep, watching TV, watching the game. But this is the front room as well. So apparently this house has been abandoned for quite some time. You see right now, I guess it is completely destroyed. So it's probably going to be dismantled. Make sure I don't fall. But it's probably going to be dismantled within, a few days, weeks, or whatever. But as you can see, for the rest of these houses, all of these houses right here are condemned. They have been condemned or empty for quite some time. And I remember going down and asking the past city council of, what are they going to do with these houses? And at that time, I didn't receive an answer. I think I did some research on who owns the houses, but was never able to come to any definite conclusion about who owns the houses. Now, this one you see, this is the field where a house used to be at. So I think all total, if I'm not mistaken, there was only one more house right here. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it looks like enough space for two, but I think it was only one more houses. Now that last house, once again, that's condemned. The last I remember, two sisters had a little house right there, probably back in like the 2000s. That was one of the spots. I don't know if this second house right here that was here was Mr. Jits. I remember coming, once again as a young teenager, young adult. I think it was either Mr. Jit and Miss Cat. Maybe it was the fourth house right there. I'm not sure. My memory escapes me a little bit because things are not there, and a lot of times I was here a lot of times under the influence of certain substances. So but yeah, I think maybe in the fourth house I used to go over there late night. Mr. Jit would always be playing Pity Pat, him and Miss Cat. So I would, at late night hours, I would always knock on the door, see if they was up, be playing cards, ready to play cards. Also, I think this third house coming up, the OGs, Dave and Odell, used to have this house. If I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong now, but Dave and Odell used to have this house. You might come through here. I think it was the same house of, you can go get you, a little drink, or you can, come in here and pick out some flowers, for, if you know what I'm talking about. You can find you some flowers, some vegetables. You can get some of that. But all of these houses are condemned at the moment. And even, I think the brick house to the right or to the left of this house that was the subject of the fire, I think that is also empty. So there's a I guess a blight in this area. Now, keep in mind, there you have Dillard Middle School right there. So we have 4 houses of blight that children have to pass going to school. If I'm not mistaken, I think someone told me that the kids coming from the Slocum Street or the Lincoln Homes area always walk through this field. They always pass through these houses. And it is my understanding that, it was a juvenile who was responsible for this house being set on fire. Now, once again, I don't have all the details, but I'm definitely going to do a separate story on the results of this fire as it relates to some middle school age kids. But the question we have to ask ourselves once again is why have all these houses been abandoned and condemned for so long? Who owns those buildings? Does the city own them? You know, as we see, it says right here, posted, private property. Hunting, fishing, trapping, or trespassing for any purpose is strictly forbidden. Violators will be prosecuted. Hopefully, I won't be prosecuted for, shooting this video. If I am, it's just a misdemeanor trespassing. So hopefully I can, throw myself on the mercy of the court for that offense. But I just wanted to show you guys, this house, because a lot of people, and unfortunately, there has been some loss of life, at this house and in this area. Also, some some other violent acts, a lot of arguments and fights. How you doing, sir? That has happened here. So, as the African proverb said, in relation, to how this house became to look like this, said, if a child doesn't feel the warmth of the village, he will burn it down just to feel its heat. So this may be a case of that. Once again, I'm not too versed or not too familiar with the young individual who has purported to have done this, but this may be an example of that African proverb. But as you see, once again, all of these houses right here have been abandoned, have been boarded up. I don't know if they're condemned, they're eminent domain, or what have you, but they have just been sitting for such a long time. And I think that is a testament to the deterioration of the entire city. Now, this is just one street. I actually planned on going all around town and just taking pictures and videos of all of the abandoned or unoccupied, vacant, boarded up buildings and houses in the city of Goldsboro. I think that is something that we may need to address. As a lot of people know, they have just evicted the residents of Tent City. So, people are asking where they going to go. Here are 4 possible locations, and there are hundreds of others around this city. So, nevertheless, rest in peace to Mr. Robert, and also rest in peace to 10,016, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct. Or is it 10,010? Probably 10,010. 1,010, because that's 2, 4, 6, 8. It's probably 1,010. I stand corrected. But this was a house, once again, that was frequented by many, and unfortunately, it has come to its, I guess, final demise, and maybe it's karma because of some of the things that have happened in this area, in this house, and many possible lives that have been negatively affected, by things that went on in this house and in this area. But there you see 3 more houses. You see the young gentleman. I didn't get them on camera, but it's a young gentleman who occupies this property, and he looks like maybe a military guy or whoever. But definitely we wonder why these 4 houses, and also, as you see, this house is empty. Now, I don't know about the other house as well, but we see right here this house is empty as well. So we have a lot of empty houses that are right across the street from Dillard Middle School. So ask yourself why, and who owns these properties, and why are they allowed to sit in such condition and end up like this. Peace and blessings. 919-587-7782 if y'all have any questions.